What's cracking with you people? Anansi here, and welcome back to Jak II. In the last one, we did a mission for Vin by dropping some crate on some metalhead eggs in the strip mine. And in this one, we're going to do a mission. No, wait, we also did a mission for Samos by giving his younger self the life seed. In this one, we're going to do a mission for Bruter. Give you one guess what it is.
This is a no-hover zone.
Nope, don't mean to do that. Excuse me.
It's Brother Jak and his little orangey pal. Thank the totem I sees you. You helped lurkers once time. You help us twos?
Look, Bruder, we've got our own problems to deal with right now.
But you no big to do ruckus you cause it dig? I know all caves like Back of Claw. And Mars Tomb, nowhere there. Now metalheads find hidden lurker village in caves. They bite and hurt village real bad. And me lurker brothers trapped like animals.
Hello, they are animals.
We're no longer evil lurking bad to bones, orangey boy. We good now. Metalheaders are bad. They is enemies.
Yeah, I guess we're all in the same boat now.
And this ship is sinking fast, brother.
Please save 6 lurker brothers quick, and Bruno will kiss you foot.
Okay, so you held up 8 hands and promised Daxter to indulge in kissing feet. I'm not certain Daxter's into that, but whatever. So yeah, in this one that one have to get okay, that was not what I meant to do. So yeah, that mission that cutscene kind of told us that the metalhead showed up at a later date, leading us to believe that, leading to the lurkers being ousted as the main threat to the denizens of Haven. I don't think they ever say what Jak's people are called. Like how in Zelda, Legend of Zelda, the human elf people are called the Hylians. I don't think that Jak's people are ever given a name. Oh, there's another one right over there. We turn around and take him out next. Yeah, I don't think Jak people are ever given a name. If they are given a name, it's in the manual, then I completely forgot. But to my knowledge, they're never named in game. You know, like how in like I believe in I think in Ocarina of Time. No wait, one of the 2D Zeldas. They actually named the people Hyrule Hylians. In this one, I don't think they ever give them a name. So whatever Jak's people are called, they were the predominant species. Lurkers are the main threats. One day the precursors showed up. One day the metalheads showed up, and things went awry. Now you might be thinking, well, obviously the metalheads showed up when the rift opened, right? Since that's clearly a rift to the past, and some got through. Very clearly, that's where the metalheads come from. And that would be a valid theory, if not for the fact that there are ancient depictions of metalheads in the Temple of Mar, and the precursors very clearly called them in the Temple of Mar their ancient enemy. And since we know that the precursors have been around since before the time of Jak and Daxter, I'm going to call BS on that for the sheer fact that get around right there. Get on there. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna call nonsense on that for the sheer fact that they can't be an ancient enemy of the precursors, and the precursors have been extinct for a while. So take care of that. Have been extinct, or at least, at the very least, not around. Like, no one's seen one in so long they don't even know what they look like. That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So my only guess is that at one point the metalheads were around. They were probably around since before Jak's people came around. They went dormant. Something happened a couple years or sometime after Jak and the gang went through the Rift portal, and they became a major pain in the butt. They definitely know that at least this generation has been around since before the founding of Haven City. As a matter of fact, I think the whole thing with the slums or the holy grounds or whatever the heck it was, where young Samuel spot them, is supposed to be an area they were holding them off while they were finished building the walls of Haven City and the shield grid around the time of Mar, or at least before Mar, somewhere in that ballpark. So yeah, that's pretty much okay. So go ahead and go to this, because when in doubt, use the rapid gun. Because in terms of shooty bang bang, there's two basic laws. The louder it is, the more damage it does. The faster it shoots, the quicker you die. That's pretty much the only two laws that matter in this world when it comes to guns. But yeah, so that's all we know about the metalheads. It's gonna have to deal with that. And now the last one. Okay, and shooty bang bang. Here you go, taxi service, and it's armed. Come on, that's what the energy is.
Great smelly breath of a goose snake! Heroes to lurker people you be! Find out just in much happy things! You honorary members of Lurker tribe now! We don't forget, if ever you need us, we help you!
And that's the last of the Brooder missions. Yeah. We won't be seeing, we won't be doing any more missions for Brooder for, yeah, I believe that's the last of the Brooder missions, so that's where it ends. Let me put that away. And now we're going to go to deal with Vin, because I believe this is going to come to one of the more challenging platforming sections in the game. And not for the sheer fact, like, unlike the tank section where at the early parts of the game that like test you gotta be fast and not get hit. This one, I think, if it's the one I think it is, it's challenging because of two very specific reasons. But yeah, so that last mission was just trying to get them free so that way they can go to a different cave system to avoid being hit by the metalheads. Hey, let's see what Vidin wants.
I can't believe it. We were so close. The Baron stole the precursor stone right out from under us. And after all of our planning and hard work, Torn has betrayed the cause.
Torn meant well. He was protecting one of our own.
We must get that stone back.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
I've underestimated this Baron, and now it appears he has taken the boy as well. Think. What will the Baron's next move be?
Well, if I had the precursor stone with all that power, I'd use it to build a giant palace. A palace with the biggest harem of women the world has ever known. And there'd be a swimming pool filled to the brim with chocolate. Slightly minty. Yeah, a massive pool of gooey chocolate. Then the girls and I would jump in together. What?
I want you to go out to the drill platform again. If you can destroy the main control tower there, it should temporarily stop the Baron's use of eco to harm us.
So, I got a question for you, Core. Where were you in the prison cells? I don't remember seeing you there when we rescued the others. Then again, it's been a while since I recorded that part, so I might remember clearly. I can swear I don't remember you being there. Anyway, gotta go to the drill platforms here. Metalheads are back, so we can go there and take care of them if we really want to. Don't have to, though. Gonna go through here. And yeah, so this is the more challenging platforming part. Because you have to defend this, mech, because we need it for certain parts of the mission. So if it gets destroyed, we fail. Platforming this thing is going to be very, very awkward, and there are some very specific switches you're going to have to hit. So be aware of that. Correctly. go, and there we go. Okay, now this is going to be very tricky because you gotta lower this over here and do something else. Now, I don't know if I brought this up in a previous part, but as some of you may have probably seen as you've gone through this game, you may have noticed some visual glitches with regards to the cutscenes. Okay, I done messed that one up. Okay, so anyway, so we weren't that far into it. I'm going to have to look around that one very clearly next time. But you may have noticed some visual glitches with the cutscenes. That's because, well, I'm playing the HD collection on a PlayStation 4. And as a matter of fact, this is actually my first time playing through the PlayStation 4 collection. I played Jak and Daxter and Jak II and Jak III so many times that I have most of the I have most of the levels memorized, most of the gimmicks memorized. I say most, I have them all memorized. I just don't remember where they all take place in terms of the narrative of the game. Which leads to a very interesting point. You know what? I think I gotta jump up, right? Yeah, I gotta make the jump. That's all that is. Okay. There we go. That was just my incompetence. So there we go. Get some dark eco there, and go from there. So you may have noticed that there are some visual glitches. Like in that last cutscene with Core and Daxter, Daxter's mouth did this weird splitting thing, like it was depixelizing or something. That I think is due with the port of this game. I don't know what the issue was, and I didn't know that was the issue at the time, because I don't have a PlayStation 2. When I actually played this game, my brother owned the PlayStation 2, and that was his console. Actually, in my household, I had the Dreamcast, he had the Nintendo. Jump up to that. He had the Nintendo, and later on, I had the GameCube, and he got the PlayStation 2. We would trade consoles every once in a while to play certain games. I don't think he ever got the I don't think he ever borrowed the GameCube, for the sheer fact that I think he felt that the games on it were meant for kids. Because I think he was just at that point he didn't want to play kids games. He wanted to play games like Grand Theft Auto and more mature, challenging games. We still played stuff like Star Wars because obviously you play Star Wars, and Star Trek because obviously you play Star Trek. There are just some things you don't outgrow as you get older, you know? Like, I'm probably never going to outgrow Jak and Daxter, the same way I kind of outgrew Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank, in my opinion, didn't age well enough to be a game series that I feel like you could outgrow, as indicated by the reboot a few years back. But yeah, I have this game pretty much memorized to the point where I feel comfortable enough in knowing where certain things happen at certain times, because I would always marathon Jak and Daxter. I would always marathon it whenever I played the games. So once I decided to do this playthrough for the channel, I knew that I was going to be marathoning the entire series, or at least what I owned of the series. So I figured, well, they have it on the PlayStation Network, might as well play it on there, because I don't think you could mess up a port. Little did I know that was the case. So there are going to be some visual glitches here, because I believe all they did was up-res it, like up-res the graphics, but I don't think they... Okay, we're at the right point we need to go to now. Okay, this is fine. I think that should do it for right now. Yeah, how you like having giant tons of metal thrust in your face. But yeah, so you'll see visual glitches every now and then, and some of them in my opinion are manageable enough that you can ignore them, but there are instances where it's just not the case. And there's one glitch that's going to happen later on that can be avoided, but sometimes it might not be avoided, and it will ruin the tension of that scene. I hope it doesn't happen when it happens, but I do remember it specifically being an issue that occurred in the PlayStation 2 version. So, if you can get Jak and Daxter, I do recommend getting it on a more stable version. Now, they recently re-released them in an HD collection. Oh, well, let's go ahead and finish this up, but I can finish my tangent later. So we automatically get out of this. Now, this was going to be totally challenging because we have to now backtrack our way through this entire facility in a time limit. It shouldn't be that hard because we have a little bit more maneuverability, a little bit more control, and I don't think we have any enemies to deal with on the way back. But we do have an obstacle course. There you go. But yeah, I know they recently re-released Jak and Daxter in an HD collection at the time of this recording on physical discs. I don't know if those have the same problems. I have to look into them. But if you can get Jak and Daxter, and I do highly recommend the series, try getting it on the original PlayStation 2, you know, because at the very least, you want to worry about like cutscenes having glitches, or well, yeah, it's mostly the cutscenes, or like screen tearing and character modeling being off. You won't have to worry about that. But in terms of the, let me see now. I just gotta get through here. I think once you're at the end here, you're pretty much home free. Okay. Up we go. But if you can't get it on the original, okay, I think I might have died here. Right. Yep, died there. Okay. Yeah, so that getting hit that last second definitely hurt me. Okay. But yeah, if you can get it on the original PlayStation 2, so you can avoid the cutscene glitches as much as possible, if you care about that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's still a solid game. Once again, I don't know what happened to make this be an issue. Okay, that's just me being stupid. I don't know what happened in the porting part. Okay. Well, once again, about to fail. I don't know what happened in the porting process to make these issues come to light. I want to say they were things that were already there in the frame rate, or maybe some way the upres engine interacts with whatchamacallit, whatever it is, probably has something to do with the issues present. But yeah, but I feel like the original releases are okay enough that you can get away with whatever issues are present, you know. So yeah, so seek out the original copies if you can, and you'll be in for a good time. That being said, on with the show, and we'll just laugh at the issues that come up when they come up. Dead. Okay, I'm just gonna cut till I get to the end of this. You've seen this already.
Backup systems failing.
Oh god, that hurt. Anyway, going straight into it.
Eco grid growing unstable.
Alright, the very next try did on my first try, so I guess there's no need to cut. But yeah, no, it's like, if you can get it on the original PlayStation 2, you'll be in much better shape then.
Another blow to the Baron! are in, my good friends. Very soon, our fortunes will change.
Anyway, I've been Anansi. This has been Jak II, and I'll catch you in the next one.